forward to seeing more Nigerian companies investing in South Africa. In fact, we want to see Nigerian products on the shelves of South African shops. Our efforts to create a favorable environment include our simplified visa process for Nigerian business people to travel to South Africa. Qualifying Nigerian business people can be granted a 5-year multiple entry visa. In addition, tourists from Nigeria are now able to apply for a visa without even submitting a passport.
Black South Africans, how are you guys feeling now? We would love to see Nigerian products on South African shelves. Thank you, Ramaphosa. Thank you very much. I've told you guys before, you don't know anything about politics. You guys run around trying to be fighting Somali, try to fight Ethiopians, fight Nigeria, fight Ghanaians, fight Zimbabweans, but never say anything about white people. But still yet, your own government prefer Nigerians and Zimbabweans because they are skilled, got handwork. 30 years after apartheid, they've left the country for you guys. You guys will sit on social media and say, thank God for white people, thank God for apartheid. If not for white people, South Africa will not be where it is. How you want your own country, your own government, even place the country in your hands. Now, the Kwerekweres are coming.
Your president, Cyril Ramaphosa, has just invited Nigerians to come here without passports. Hey, he's just invited. Hell, Baba. He just opened up the floodgates, of hell. Nigerians, when they're here, whether they come here, he says they must come here as tourists. They're not going back. He says that we want to see Nigerian products in our shelves, in our shops. What products are that? Because I don't know them. The only product that they are selling is human trafficking, drugs, and the few multinationals that they have there, they're not even black owned. About Dangote, they're fronting. These are multinationals owned by white people. When they come in here, what is it that Nigeria can assist us with? The only product that you're going to see on our shelves is your girl children being prostituted, drugs, sure, fraud, Baba, banking fraud. Your girl children, they're going to be fucked, for free. And, yeah, when God was making men out of clay, somewhere the devil was making Nigerians and Zimbabweans and other foreigners who are found here. We are fucked, Buffett, because Cyril Ramaphosa wants to protect his business interests for MTN in Nigeria, protect his Jewish friends who've got business interests in Nigeria, and some of these puppets, who are in government. Yeah, we are fucked, Buffett. He's using our armies, using all, our diplomatic ties to advance his business interests. And you're not going to march out of this problem. You're not going to placard out of this problem and raising placards and say Cyril must go. Bekufuneka one pattern, mahlangana nazo labor, in fact, kube one pattern, but you worship them because top 5 parties here in South Africa are enablers of foreigners. ANC, DA, EFF, IFP, MK through Jacob Zuma, because he was in government. He signed ZEP, allows Zimbabweans to come here. So he's part of the problem. It's the same as Abu Cyril Ramaphosa. But Cyril Ramaphosa is the worst president in the world. We just invited problems. Nigerians, there's nothing that Nigerians can offer South Africans besides coming here and robbing your girl children, marrying them, use them, guma banking frauds and all the nonsense. We are fucked, Baba. He's just opened up hell on South Africa. You're not going to march yourself out of this problem. In this one, bekufuneka one petty.
Investors, I think visa free also, and the issue of Nigerian products, encouraging Nigerian products in the shelves of South African companies or shops or whatever. As a Nigerian who is staying in South Africa, I must say with all due respect, sir, that is the worst terrible decision, sir. You understand? I don't understand government. I am not a politician or what, but I'm just a fellow man who stays in the community of South Africa as a Nigerian. And as first-hand Nigerian, I know that my country is the most hated country in South Africa. Right now, at this moment in South Africa, South Africans are trying to fight back and take what belongs to them. South Africans are waking up and are saying enough is enough. We are tired of these foreigners coming to our country and cause chaos. We are tired of illegal things done by foreigners. I know that South Africans also commit crime, but it's their country. There's nothing more painful than somebody else comes into your own house and does bad. It's more painful than when you do it. You understand? You understand what I mean? We can all point fingers and say South Africans do it too, whatever. It is fine. But it's more painful when an outsider does it. Let's just be honest with ourselves. You understand? South Africa is trying to take control. They are not even done with the tax shops and with the whatever it is, the zamazamas and what, just a lot of chaos being done by illegal foreigners and foreigners as a whole. And now we are trying to bring more foreigners into the country, sir. And I must be honest with you, sir, that is a terrible decision from the bottom of my heart, sir. I say it and I say it and I hit my chest without fear. That is a terrible decision. Right now, South Africans are not looking forward to more Nigerians of all people to come into their own country. And you know what? I must commend South Africa for fighting for their own country, for their own land, and for opportunities. You understand? Whether it took time for people to wake up, at the end of the day, people have woken up, and that's a good thing. I wish I could say the same thing about my own country.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to another banger episode. Let us just get into the news without wasting any more of your time, right? So we know that in the recent days, President Ramaphosa has announced a visa free entry and a passport free entry for the Nigerians. He's saying that this is helping the trading partnership between South Africa and Nigeria. Bear this in mind that Nigeria is in a bid of joining the G20, and Nigeria is in a bid of joining BRICS nation. And you know, BRICS nations have this law to say that they have to trade with one another, right? So our sister country, according to the Nigerian president Bola Tinubu, has visited President Ramaphosa, and seems like there were new laws that were enacted or were announced to the citizens, right? So the first law that was announced was that qualified Nigerian business can be granted a 5-year entry visa. That was the first one. The second one was that tourists from Nigeria, they can now apply for a visa without submitting a passport, right? So this has happened to make a lot of people to be in anger and to be very angry with the stance or the position that the president have taken, right? But I mean, I will understand why people are angry. I will understand. South Africa has a problem with illegal foreigners, right? There are a lot of people who are here and they are undocumented. They are here illegally and they belong in all the world, not only in Africa. We have people who are here illegally from England, from UK. We have people who are here illegally from the Middle East. We have people here who are illegally from Malawi, from Nigeria, from Mozambique, from Zimbabwe, from Namibia, from Swaziland. We are people who are here. These people are established. Some of them, they have houses. Some of them, they run businesses. Some of them, they are in agriculture. So South Africa has become like this granny that accommodates all of his children, right? But while South Africa has that courtesy, South Africans are feeling now the heat, because now there is war between the foreign nationals and the locals, the South Africans. What is the war about? So South Africa, you may remember that it is suffering from what we call the highest unemployment rate ever, right? Each and every year, the unemployment rate is increasing, right? And you know who South Africans are blaming? They are blaming the foreign nationals as taking their jobs. But then, because I'm from South Africa, let me just testify to that. You know what South Africans are saying, it is true. But now the people who are making these two to fight, the South Africans and the foreign nationals, are politicians, number one, and number two are business, the markets, those who are controlling the markets. Because politicians, they are powerless when it comes to implementing a plan to make a border control, right? Then number two, business in South Africa, those who are running industries, they hire foreign, undocumented foreign nationals for a cheap labor, right? You'll work for the whole month and you will just get 900 rand or 800 rand, right? To them, they are gaining because they are taking cheap labor, as they did when it was time of slavery, that people will just work for nothing. So that system, when it comes to market, it is still evolving, right? So that system has made many South Africans to be kicked out or to be closed outside and not to participate in the building of the economy. Because now it means that when you compare to those who have South African ID and those who have maybe no permits and who are not registered, who are here illegally, the markets or the business in South Africa will rather employ those who are here illegally because they misuse these people. They pay them less. They pay them only crumbs that falls from the master's table. So South Africans, most of them, they know their rights. They know that you can't pay them less than a minimum wage, right? But the ones coming from Mozambique or coming from Malawi, they don't have that practice and that skill to say that they will stand and quote and fight using rights. They don't have that, right? That is why the business is working hand to hand with our government just to mess the South African population up, right? But here we know that we as South Africans rely a lot to our politicians to stand for us. Let us just pick up the few, right? We know the ANC that has formulated this government of national unity, where they took opposition parties and they brought them now to be part of the government and to lead some different portfolios, right? So now, you know what Ramaphosa has done. In all of these, I will just see Ramaphosa as a winner, because by giving the opposition position in his cabinet, he has silenced them in a way, no matter what we can say. You remember when the DA was asked about the issue of Phala, you know what they say? They say that they will never ever vote to impeach the president. Why? Because the president has given them positions, government positions, right? You remember the position of Gayton Mackenzie that they will use to go there right next to the border with Kenya and chase those who were coming from Mozambique or Zimbabwe, those who were jumping the river, and chase them to say, Mawahambe, 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 they must get out of here. They must get out, they don't belong here, right?
Of the Limpopo River. According to the party, close to 1,000 suspected illegal immigrants were redirected back to the Zimbabwean side of the border.
We have camped here, and from yesterday evening, even this morning, just from the campsite of the river, we have deported over 700 people, close to 1,000 people that we have pushed back. We are now here, and you can see where we are. As we are arriving, they were crossing, and we then chased them and they went back into Zimbabwe. You have seen the boats that are there. Our people jumped in the river to go and step those boats right there in Zimbabwe.
Kunene insists that their methods are legal.
We are telling them, Hamba, Abahambe, go back. And they can see that we are highly armed, and we are telling them, if you come this side, you are going to meet us.
But listen to what Gayton Mackenzie says today. Gayton Mackenzie today, he sings a different tune. He's no longer that Gayton Mackenzie who made and delivered his manifesto before the elections, promising his people that he will deal with the issue of illegal foreigners.
Apartheid, Satani, Kai Ruma di Satani Teddy. The devil sent other devils here to this country to come and sell drugs to our children, to come and sell body parts of our people, to come and take the jobs of South Africans. They are gonna go home. Halakhan Haistuhan. Abahambe. Abahambe. We don't want illegal foreigners here. Where the PA, after we've been sworn in, I'm going straight to Rahima Musa Hospital, where we're going to switch off the oxygen of illegal foreigners.
Now he has changed his position. He agrees with what the president is doing. Any law that the president is implementing, the DA, the IFP, and the Patriotic Alliance, they have no say because they have position. They are part of the government. They are part of power. So they can't speak against Ramaphosa, because when you speak against the president or anyone on the top position from the NC, you'll be out, right? Cabinet reshuffle will just start to hit you in your head and you'll be out. Let's hear what Gayton is saying. Gayton is saying some things won't go our way in the GNU. So he's admitting that even he has a different position, but some of the things, they will not go their way. So they must just allow the things to go, because it may not be their way, but they must just allow them. How? The position have just changed just like that because of some position? No, politicians are the same. Politicians, I've learned something about them, that politicians, they don't represent us in any way. They represent themselves, their greed and their stomach. Because when the voters elect leaders, they elect people that will become their voice there in parliament. But number one, the government of national unity have destroyed that. It has made the opposition to side with them, and not only to side with them, but to protect the president. So those now who voted and who put Gayton Mackenzie to be there are no longer represented, because now these politicians, they've been bribed by positions of becoming part of the cabinet. So what is the EFF stance on this? Let us talk about the EFF, because we know that the EFF, it has an open border policy. The EFF was talking about the African trade, that Africa needs to trade all the countries with each other.
Open border policy was there in 2014, was there in 2019, but it didn't work. What else can we find to attack them? Whether me and you like it or not, there are no borders in South Africa. That is just something written for formality on the founding manifesto of the EFF. There are no borders, my brother. I can tell you, it's like we behave like a mad person who has got a shack and a yard. He's given a stand with a shack. He goes and put a gate where there's no fence. You put a gate. When you go to Mqimbi, we Yamalopo, ukia gate like a lock, yet you don't have a fence. When you come back and unlock that gate and open, your neighbor is looking at you, it's like, what is this? Gayton Mackenzie was running all over Limpopo River, saying he's chasing Zimbabweans who are crossing into South Africa, almost eaten by crocodiles for doing that. But The foolish him, he didn't know. He was proving what I'm saying correct, that there is no fence. So what open border are you talking about, which is not happening now, which is going to happen after the EFF takes over government?
So we know that the EFF is not against what the president is suggesting. But you know, this does not resonate with a lot of people here in South Africa. Because people here, they feel like this will just make more people to come here without having any proper documentation. And that is already the case. So it's more like the president is alleging, agreeing, allowing this just to grow to what we don't know. But these things are happening, and as they are happening, South Africans, they are feeling the pressure to say that it will be even harder to get employment, even it is going to be even harder to open a business, because the state of the economy, the recession, is just destroying the growth of the economy. So now a lot of things, you know, when the economy is not growing, it means now people are living under strenuous situations. Right? So South Africans now are angry. They are pointing finger at the ANC. They say, how can you do this to us? How can you allow this to happen? We know that some of the foreign nationals that are here, they are doing things that are illegal, like human trafficking, like selling drugs, right? Stealing computers, laptops, cars, right? And the government, the pity about all of this is that the government, our police system cannot detect who are these criminals. Because remember, most of them, they are undocumented. So, what is happening in South Africa, we don't know. Only time will tell. What's your take? Just leave your comment on the section here below. Let us hear what is your take about this matter, right? Because now the politicians are quiet. Only few politicians are speaking against this. And South Africans on the ground are angry. And you know what I fear? This will cause civil war. People will start attacking each other. South Africans will start attacking foreign nationals, like what happened back in the years around 2008, 2007, 2009. There are a lot of people who died because of xenophobic attacks. And if now this continues, we are likely to go back there. We are likely to have civil war, that people will start attacking each other because of some misdeeds of the market and business, and the misdeeds of our leaders, the politicians. But you know what? Let me say something before I close. I think the people who are behind this, there's an article I saw, the people who are behind this law of Nigerian South African relations has to do with the Oppenheimers, has to do with business people who are running South Africa. Because it is said that Nigerian products will be on our shelves. What do we need from Nigeria that we don't have at ShopRite, Pick n Pay, Woolworth, and Spar? What is it that we don't have? What minerals that we don't have here in South Africa? We have everything that we need here. But let me tell you something. This law does not only bring the Nigerians here in this country, it also brings the South Africans to Nigeria. How many people here in South Africa, they want to go to Nigeria? Maybe a very handful, few of them. But business, white monopoly capital, want to expand. White monopoly capital have urged the president to sign this law. White monopoly capital is behind this, because if then the president says now companies will be investing in Nigeria, it means that who owns companies, big corporates, who runs companies, black people, it's only a handful. But we know that who are controlling the markets, who is controlling businesses, running industries, the big factories in South Africa. It's white monopoly, it's white people. So this law is not to save any black people, but to save white interest. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and just to support this channel so that we grow bigger than where we are. For every subscription in the past few days, we have grown massively. And me, Sabelo Zuma, Umsholozi, Ongamalala, I say thank you, and thank you a lot, right? Until we meet next time, and don't forget to take care, and I'm out.